Hello, today is March 25th, 2023. We'll do our disclaimer, go over our calls, make some predictions, take a look at the long-term picture because it's the weekend. This is my trading plan for Monday, which is March 27th, 2023. Please remember I can be wrong, trade at your own risk, and please, if you're going to order the webinar which discusses the rules I use for the system, please let me know what your email address is. Saves me a lot of time. Look for the pattern on Friday with the early high, which is this. Monday's pattern should have the early low. We said unless we gap down smartly, we should see 39, 79, 74. We gap down smartly, so the time is off the table, but not the number. Now, we did hit the number in futures after the close, and so there is resistance in futures right at that high, but I don't count this as being satisfied if it doesn't print during regular trading hours, so I have to add this to the list. Now we have some new targets for Monday. There's an optional target, 39.43.54, 95% chance it prints Monday. If it doesn't, we'll forget it. And also a target of 39.41.95, significant drop from here, and if we don't gap up smartly, that's my call. During the day, MEJT doesn't like this whole afternoon rally, says it's false, we're going to retrace. This is just a reminder of what we said. We had signals that were mixed. The commonest thing was a gap and prompt move outside the day's range, and we certainly got that. These are my calls for next week's daily patterns. Well, the general idea is we're in wave blue C down. I think eventually it winds up around 35.17, but this blue A took a while and blue B is going to probably take a while too. Now, I haven't been able to count wave magenta B as complete until now. I can count the structure which says this wave up is complete. My suspicion is it's not the end of B, it's probably just A of B. I just think this wave isn't long enough, and the sentiment indicators are just not right if we're going to have a big drop. There are too many people negative on the market. Let's look at the count and see how it works. And again, just because one count works doesn't mean some other count won't. If there's no count, it probably isn't the end, but there is a count now. Well, this was the general idea. We had this wave A down from last month's high. We had this A, we had a B. It's now possible to count this as a C, so it could be ABC from magenta B, but I'm not really certain that's magenta B. It could be just A of B. Well, here's the count we had. We had an A, we had a B, we had a C, and that gives us A. So now let's look at what's happened since we hit this A the day of the FOMC announcement price. Now, generally, there's a three-leg whipsaw, and the first move after the announcement price telegraphs how the market's going to make its next major move. Well, I was counting this as up and down. I was waiting for the next up, but it's possible this was the up, down, up, and that's already played out. We still don't have the next move being up. We've actually dropped quite a bit, and that just might not work. But there is a count where you have an ABC for a B, and if that's A and that's B, this could be an ending diagonal triangle. You've got three-wave overlapping structures with a wall into the close, and after being unable to clear this high during regular trading hours, suddenly break through it in grand style after the close. That's not serious money going long there. And if it's not serious money, it gets reversed promptly at Monday's open, ideally by gapping under this low. Now, if this is a ending diagonal triangle, the minimum target's to retrace to here. And that low is what now? That low is 39.32 and change. Well, there's a very interesting Fibonacci grid here. If you take the initial swing after the FOMC announcement and set that at 50%, you can see how it targets this low and how we've hit the exact same level right at this close. Now it's pretty hard to count this, but you have three-wave overlapping structures, and if that's not a ending diagonal triangle, you have to find some other way to count it. And that's not so easy for me. So we have a wall into the close. We have resistance right here from the fib grid. We have what's probably an ending diagonal triangle. And we have a lower MEJT target. That doesn't mean it has to work, because if you gap up over this high, that probably kills this whole pattern. I mean, if you go up a little bit, that doesn't bother me at all. Because usually Friday moves like this are going to follow through. If they don't follow through, and if we open down here, it's going to be more trouble. Because almost always you get a little follow through, and you rally all day Friday, and that wouldn't disturb me. But if you gapped up and moved significantly higher, this whole idea is going to be killed, and that we're not going to know until Monday. But if this holds, that's your minimum target. And if it's the end of an ABC, you could go lower than that, although I don't think we collapse here. Well, Monday's pattern has the early low. It doesn't mean you won't gap up. Typically, it's a rally day with a high in the final hour. If it's weak, then more weakness should follow in days to come. If we're not weak early, this whole idea is probably not going to work. There are lower MEJT targets. Unless we gap up smartly, the rules call for them to print. Friday's rally nearly always follows through at Monday's open, and it's quite bearish if it does not. There's strong resistance at Friday's high, a wall into the close, and possible ending diagonal triangle. All these make gapping down, or at least dropping significantly after a slight gain, possible. And if it doesn't happen early, I would question the whole idea. Bulls need to gap and promptly overtake Friday's high if they want this rally to continue. Failing that, I look for lower prices, and because sentiment indicators show so much bearishness, I don't think a decline, if it happens at all, will last too long. I don't think we'll come near the proposed retest of the October low until more time passes. I just don't think everything is lined up yet, but I think if we don't go much past this close, things are certainly lined up for a pullback on Monday, and here are the targets. It's the pattern with the early low, and that's today's call.